Life is weird.
Super weird.
So, what did we decide to do with our fascination for the strange and unusual?
We made a podcast about it. This is Weirdfy. Now,
let's get weird. Welcome to...
Whoa. I wasn't ready. There's a little puddle of pee on my chair. Because I was not ready.
I didn't mean to scare you.
You were sitting all the way over there by your computer doing stuff. Okay. I'm going to get my heart rate back down for a second.
I'm sorry, I scared you.
No, it's okay. It's all good. We're good okay. Now. We're good.
Well, everybody's welcomed profusely, as always.
Really starting it off with a bang.
Yes,
as always.
Indeed. Episode 19.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Haley.
Oh, I'm Amanda. And we are your hosts for this morning, afternoon.
We're your tiny cupcakes.
Evening, wherever you're finding
us. We're your Twinkies. Oh we're your ding-dongs.
We are definitely some ding-dongs.
We are all of the hostesses. Do you get what I'm doing here? Hostess?
What, the mostess?
Like Hostess, the brand. Twinkies and ding-dongs.
Okay. I would say ding-dongs are my favorite. Of the hostesses.
I do. I like a good zinger.
Ooh.
Have you ever had a zinger?
Yeah.
I like a good zinger.
Zingers are good.
Yeah, I mean, they're all terrible for you. My dad, when the plant shut down or whatever, like that short spell, and Twinkies were going on eBay for like $2,000 back in, I don't know.
Crazy.
2012 or something, whatever. He is such a diehard Hostess person. Like, he was so upset about it. He was like, oh my God. And I'm like, Dad, I need you to calm down. And it's funny because he always tells me that Hostess, just like everything else, is not nearly as good as when he was a kid because obviously they put so much crap in it now.
Yeah.
And he'll always have one. He's like, oh God, this is gross. And I'm like,
why are you mad then?
Dad, you're stupid.
That reminds me of,
what's
the movie Zombieland? And
he's like, I just want a motherfucking Twinkie.
He's just like, life mission is to find a Twinkie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
I saw it on Netflix the other day.
You did?
Yeah, it's on Netflix right now. And I thought about, wow, this is really good. Zombieland 2 is pretty good, too.
Yeah, they're really winners. Zombieland 1 is just...
Obviously, because it's the first one.
And Bill Murray, please.
Yeah, my mom met him.
What?
Did I ever tell you this?
No!
Oh, yeah, in like the 80s, he helped her carry her bags. She got picked up from the airport. Just casually. She has like Polaroids of him holding her bags and just like casually loading them into the trunk
my
of
jaw
the car.
Just keeps like going further down.
Yeah. I feel like Bill Murray's a really cool dude.
Have I never heard that story? Deborah.
How have I never told you? I feel like I'm out of stories to tell you because we've been friends for so long.
Apparently not. You've got some in your old story belt.
I do, apparently. Yeah,
I love it.
Bill
That's
Murray.
Great. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard it a long, long time ago, but
Maybe
I don't think so. Because I feel like that would have stuck.
I feel like it probably would have also.
Bill Murray carried your mom's bags?
Yeah.
That's like life goals.
I know. And then he was like, okay, bye, I'm Bill Murray, I'm dipping.
I
don't know what he said. And I doubt he used the phrase,
gosh.
I'm dipping in the 80s, but, whatever.
Maybe he started the phrase, I'm dipping.
Maybe he did.
Probably, if anybody was going to start it,
you know what?
Bill Murray.
I 100% agree. Definitely. I'm dipping.
Love me some Bill Murray.
I wish it was the holidays so we could be like, Murray Christmas. Oh my gosh. That's technically what he calls it, like Christmas special ever. It's like a very Murray Christmas or something like that.
I wish it was very Murray.
A very Murray Christmas.
Very Murray.
A very Murray Christmas?
What is wrong with us?
I don't know.
So much.
This is sans alcohol too. We've just been drinking water. We did have soda, so maybe we're like children all hyped up on sugar. Wow, we're gonna crash in like a second too.
Dude, I'm feeling a little crazy. Yes, this is sans alcohol. That's interesting. We're just as ridiculous. It's just truly organic. You can add substances, you can leave us alone, and we're gonna be just as ridiculous.
Yeah, this is truly just us being authentic.
Yeah.
We're just real freaking weird, which is why we made a podcast about weird stuff.
That's right. And thank you, whoever you are on the other side of these speakers.
Yeah, we hope you're doing well. We thank you for tuning back in.
Yes.
For another episode of some weird stuff.
Yep.
And should I tell them what it is that we're covering this week?
I guess so. I guess now's
a
good
good
time
time
as any.
Okay. Well, I really dressed for the occasion.
Yes, you did.
I am currently wearing an Alice in Wonderland pullover sweatshirt. And it has all the cute little pansy flowers on the sleeves and on the bottom because I really wanted to dress for our topic today, which is weird plants. It's Amanda's wheelhouse. I am very excited to hear what you have for us today.
I'm very
and you
excited
get to go first. So please, our resident botanist, well,
Please.
slash...
That would be Unicorn Dad.
That's true. Our resident plant mom?
Sure, yes, love that. Oh my gosh, title taken.
Okay.
That's a
Scratch
label
botanist,
I am okay with having.
Hashtag plant mom.
I also dressed for the occasion.
She did.
I was just wearing a green t-shirt, which was color appropriate, but then when we were talking and I was on my way home and you're like, I'm wearing my Alice in Wonderland sweatshirt, I was like, what in my closet has plants on it? So I'm just wearing like a basic t-shirt.
It's really cute, though.
That has flowers.
I love a good botanical print.
Very on theme.
Yeah, we really dressed for the occasion.
As we do, so... And I just, God, I'm so happy right now. Look at her freaking weird for her. It's so cute.
I know. She got a couple. I think you got two. 2 new plants?
Yeah.
She got 2 new plants. So there's a lot of plant love happening in this room.
Yes. There's new crystals in here, too. One is from my mom.
Oh, yeah. There's more crystals in here.
From an Etsy shop that I order from. And... there's actually another new plant in here from one of your coworkers, Sweet Angel. Yeah. Oh my gosh, just so much good.
I know. So much good stuff in here. So much new stuff in here. Oh, we have to take pictures of like our crystal penises and other things because we keep teasing and it needs to go up on Instagram.
Let's do that tonight.
Yesterday.
When we're done, let's do it.
I'm saying it out loud. We don't have to keep this in, but I'm saying it out loud so that one of the two of us or maybe the two of us on some off chance might remember.
Yes.
I cannot guarantee that's going to happen, but I'm hopefully putting it out in the universe to come back and remind us.
Indeed. No, let's definitely do that. We can't tease the people any longer.
Nope. Plants is the title of Amanda's notes, apparently.
Yes.
With 17 S's.
Okay. Are you ready?
I've never been more ready. Wait. Oh, no. George, the little plant's dying. I'm going to use this one from my coworker.
Great.
Now I'm ready.
I know, George I just, looked at him and I was like, oh, no.
George.
Honey, what happened?
George.
What happened to you, George?
What happened?
Okay, plants. Let's do the thing.
Let's talk about plants,
baby. Okay. So, plants have somewhat recently and very quickly become a favorite hobby of mine. Within a year, I have gone from 2 houseplants that Alex and I have had for several years to 37 houseplants.
You counted them?
I counted them.
Oh my gosh. I feel like it's so much more. Maybe because, I don't know.
That's just the ones
still
inside.
A lot, though. Oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah, there's many more outside. I didn't take the time to count all the ones outside.
It's okay. There's more outside. That's all I need to know.
There's probably at least 37 more.
Probably.
If I have to be honest. And while plants are trending, I will say it's Alex's mom, Gina, who we all know and just love and adore, who got me on the plant kick. They moved to Idaho when the pandemic was at its height, and in their move, she left me a lot of plants. And from there, it has just
blossomed?
It's blossomed. It's blossomed. Oh my God. Okay, love that. And there is truly no shortage of weirdness or uniqueness when it comes to them. So I wanted to talk about 2 plants that we've mentioned on Weirdfy before.
Begonia.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so first, and 2 of my absolute favorites. So my angel wing begonia that we've mentioned, I recommend Googling this plant. Maybe we'll post a picture about it with our crystals. But
probably should.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Angel wing begonia. This plant is unlike really any plant that I've ever seen because its leaves have sparkly circle specks all over that look like glitter when you are looking at them in the sun or a light. Its leaves are pretty much fuchsia from the back, and when the leaf is new, it's pink, like a light kind of baby pink, and then as it matures, it turns green, which is why it's one of my favorites. Like, the new leaf is literally pink, it grows into green, it's got sparkly specks
and which is why
on it.
It's a normal resident in the Weird Fort each time.
Absolutely.
Very on brand.
It's the biggest leaf on my begonia is about 8 inches long and 2 inches wide. Then take my Monstera deliciosa Mo. who we've also mentioned several times. Each new leaf it puts out is bigger than the next, using fenestrations, or basically plant windows, to allow the lower leaves to get sunlight as it vines up my moss pole, or normally a tree in nature. The leaves are also stunning, but look completely different from my begonia. The biggest leaf currently is just over 11 inches, both wide and long. That's a big-ass leaf. We're going to talk about bigger leaves, though. And that is what I have been loving about plants. The more I continue to learn about plants, the more and more fascinating I am finding and realizing that they are. Not only can you find plants at the top of many mountains, there is, of course, a certain point at which they will no longer grow, and that altitude will vary greatly depending on the region that you're in. You can also find plants at the bottom of the ocean, about as deep as 600 feet, where sunlight stops penetrating water. Many plants can also be propagated. Mo is one of them. If I cut any of these leaves at the node and put it in water or soil or any other method of propagating, it will grow roots and keep it on. Succulents and cactus, amongst many others, are the same way. Take a leaf, leave it in the right condition, and it will grow roots and give you a whole new plant. What is the tallest organism on Earth? It's a plant. California redwood, reaching up to 115 meters. What's the biggest organism on Earth? It's a plant. An aspen tree, to be exact. What's the heaviest organism on Earth? It's a plant. The same aspen tree. And then this is a quote directly from Wikipedia. Pando, also known as the trembling giant, is a clonal colony of an individual male quaking aspen determined to be a single living organism by identical genetic markers and assumed to have one massive underground root system.
So it's like Awa in Avatar. It's like the giant tree, and it has like just it.
Avatar's the porno. Sorry, they don't use their tails. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Awa the giant like tree. It's like the root system is connected to everything, and it just all kind of works as one giant organism.
So from what I understand, it's like one tree that's just made many trees.
Oh, it's just spawned. Okay.
But it's still the same tree.
Okay.
Pando is the largest colony known of these trees and is located in Fish Lake National Forest in Utah. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Estimates say the colony could be over 80,000 years old. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's freaking crazy. It's freaking crazy.
So does that mean they're all, I guess, quote unquote, genetically, are they all exactly the same? So it would be like identical twins, like their makeup is exactly the same. They're just one of.
I think it's like, okay, so this snake plant that we currently have in the WEIRD-A fort has grown another plant out of it, and it's just like a baby snake plant.
It's just that kind of situation.
And not speaking because I know, this is just like my guess, that it's the same thing, right? Like, so the roots have grown and they've sprouted another plant and they've sprouted another plant. Now, I don't know if this is genetically identical to this, like the baby plant is genetically identical to the mother plant.
Yeah.
But according to Wikipedia, they are a single living organism by identical genetic markers.
Okay.
So plants are also the only reason that we are here. Their ability to turn sunlight into energy and produce oxygen is what literally gives us life. Without plants, we don't exist. And while plants giveth life, they can also taketh away. Amongst the thousands of plants around the world that carry some form of poison, be it their berry, flower, or leaf, or seed, there is one in particular that has actually made history. Today, I will be telling you about one of the most poisonous plants that you and many others have probably heard of, known as castor bean.
Oh, thank God.
You did a poisonous plant too?
Yeah.
I could feel you tensing.
I was like, oh gosh. I didn't want to say anything. That's why I didn't put it out in the universe. But I was just like, okay, we're good. I've never heard of this. It goes by another name.
No, kind of. But
Okay.
I feel like the more I talk about it, you're going to be like, I've heard of this.
Gotcha.
So castor bean, or Ricinus communis, and a member of the spurge family, has been used for centuries for its many properties, aside from being highly poisonous. It's truly fascinating that the same plant can kill you and also cure you. The Egyptians used the oil from these seeds because they contain anywhere from 35 to 55% oil. Ever heard of castor oil?
I thought it sounded familiar. I was like, I wonder.
This is where it comes from. They would use the oils from castor beans to light their lamps over 4,000 years ago.
Wow.
The oils are now used in a variety of ways, and it's used for so many reasons. So many reasons. Like, I was like, I could just keep adding reasons, but I feel like it's going to just kind of get boring. Like, I truly feel like I could talk about my half of the podcast just with the uses.
Just the reasons that people use it.
Yes. So here's a few like ways that castor oil is used. It's used for water-resistant coatings, paints, even motor oils and soaps, varnishes. It's used in polishes and perfumes. It's even used in medication for constipation and heartburn to assist in starting labor or getting the breast milk to flow. It can be used topically to soften skin, for birth control, and even for leprosy and syphilis.
Oh, wow.
Truly, the list goes on and on. There is so many more ways that it's used for, but I would just keep naming off ways. So I just encourage you to dive more into that if you're curious about the other uses, because it's used in a lot of, not necessarily medications, but it's said to help alleviate a lot of medical issues that you might have.
Okay.
And then just a few facts about the castor bean. It's native to Ethiopia and tropical East Africa, and it's now considered a weed in many places.
Whoa.
It can grow up to 40 feet. It has kind of star-esque leaves that can grow over 2.5 feet across, which sounds big. But then I looked up the biggest leaf in the world, which is a Raffia regalis, which is a raffia palm. And its leaves can grow up to 82 feet long and 10 feet wide. So 2.5 feet is not as big. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, 2.5 feet's not 82
It's
feet.
a baby leaf.
It's like the sperm of that leaf.
I was like, 82? Wow. Anyways.
Whoa.
This is a big-ass palm tree.
There's a big-ass palm tree.
So how is it used for all these things when it's so poisonous? To harvest this plant safely and use its properties and not die, you will need to remove the hull around the seed. So there's like the seed, and then it's kind of like just a protective kind of woody like encasing, basically. The hull is what contains the poison ricin.
Okay.
And the seed is what has the oil in it. So now let's get into the poison. Okay. The poison for Cusco. Poison chosen especially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. Yes, that poison. Yes, that poison. Okay. Ricin. Discovered in 1888 by Peter Hermann Stillmark, a German scientist, has been the talk of chemical warfare for a long time. In fact, during both World War I and II, Britain and the U.S. and other countries played around with weapons that would disperse clouds of ricin. Ultimately, it was decided that it would be too difficult and not that effective and not guaranteed to necessarily kill people. So it hasn't been worth chemical warfare so far. Darn it. It's not deadly enough. You can become infected by inhaling, being injected, or ingesting it. People have been known to send ricin through the mail as well with the intent to harm the recipient. And if you are so unfortunate to get ricin in your body in any way, there is no antidote.
Oh, snap.
Which you're not necessarily going to die. If treatment occurs quickly enough, you can survive, but it doesn't sound fun. And it's kind of like if you don't get treatment quickly enough, you still could maybe make it. But you definitely have a chance, like a good chance of death if you don't get treatment. So symptoms vary depending on how you are infected, but can consist of nausea, fever, cough, stomach pain, or vomiting. If inhaled, you might have tightness of chest or chest pain, and your lungs may even fill with fluid, which that freaks me out so bad. The thought, I remember one time Alex was sick. This was years ago. Maybe not even sick. He just had this weird thing where he was having trouble taking in big gulps of air and he felt like there was fluid in his lungs, and then he went to the doctor and there was.
Did he have like pneumonia? Because isn't that basically what
I don't know.
Pneumonia is?
I don't remember what he had.
Fluid in the lungs?
Just awful.
Oh.
Yeah. Ugh.
So sad.
So, yeah, very sad. Also, I never saw Breaking Bad, but Alex said that
I haven't either.
that they make ricin in Breaking Bad. So it's like...
I don't really know much about meth making. I'm not sure.
I'm an expert. No, I'm just kidding. I don't either, but I don't think it goes in meth. But this is me talking like I know fucking what I'm talking about, and I don't.
That's because that's the whole premise of Breaking Bad, is that they are meth dealers and they make it. But
I doubt ricin goes in meth if you're going to be inhaling
enough meth
it.
Will kill you. I don't know. Maybe small doses. I don't know.
But you don't want any dosage of ricin. It could kill you. I don't know. But he just said that they talk about it on the show. So just like a pop culture reference, because he loved that show. And so does like everybody who's seen it.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to talk about an interesting story involving ricin. We travel back to September 1978 and to an unsuspecting bus stop in the UK where Georgy Markov is making his way home. While waiting at his bus stop, he suddenly felt sharp pain in his upper right leg. When he looked up, he saw a man picking up an umbrella. The man quickly ran to the other side of the road and got in a cab and left, never to be found again. Where he felt the pain, it turned into a painful pimple, and within a day, he was admitted to St. James Hospital. Sadly, just 4 days later, he died of his injury. He was luckily able to convey to doctors that he thought he was poisoned. So while there were many theories as to why he might have suddenly gotten so sick and died, they ultimately had a very thorough autopsy done that found a tiny pellet believed to have come from the umbrella that contained ricin.
So he stabbed him with the umbrella?
Whoa! Uh-huh. And Alex was telling me last night, there's this show, Mysteries at the Museum.
Okay.
I would recommend this show. It's so cool. They take just any artifact from a museum and then they talk about it. So they talked about Robert the Doll in one episode. They talked about the cauldron that the Donner Party used to
eat everyone else.
And then he told me that they have this umbrella and they talk about it on the show, which I was like, oh my gosh. Which I kind of wish that I would have watched, but oh well. I'll watch it later at a later time.
Yeah, and then it'll just expand your knowledge on it.
Exactly. No, but this show is very cool.
It sounds really cool.
It's like...
Is it on Netflix?
It was on Netflix, and I don't know where it is now.
Okay.
But they have tons of episodes, and it's like, they kind of just start off with like, oh, this is just like a cauldron. And you're like,
it's called
okay.
What?
Mysteries at the Museum.
Mysteries at the Museum. Okay.
And it's like all kinds of museums. Like, it's not just one museum or another. It's like, where's Robert the Doll? He's at some museum. Oh, talking about him, actually, I hate.
Don't talk. You're not supposed to talk about him.
We're going to stop.
Okay, well, I'm not saying it.
I feel like I would rather talk about skinwalkers.
I shouldn't talk about those either.
Anyways, the show was great. We welcome in all the good vibes. Look at all these crystals. Nothing bad coming in here. Plants protect us. Thanks. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. Umbrella that contained ricin. Georgy Markov was a known novelist and playwright from Bulgaria. Not digging the Communist Party either, he moved to England and committed his life to broadcasting from the BBC World Service, the Radio Free Europe, and the German Deutsche Welle. He adamantly spoke against the Communist Party and spoke freely against Todor Zhivkov, who was their leader. Zhivkov did not like Georgy, obviously, and is noted saying that he wanted him silenced for good. Yes, let's silence him.
Murder.
The case... Murder by umbrella.
Murder by umbrella. Umbrella murder.
Umbrella murder. Don't piss off Todor. The case remains open, according to Scotland Yard, to this day, and the assassin is still unknown. There is even a British documentary released about the incident in 2006 called The Umbrella Assassin.
I've heard of that.
You've heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Now you know what you mean.
Wow. It all's coming into focus.
Wow. The light. I see it.
I see the light.
There is a whole Wikipedia page for the Bulgarian umbrella that shows exactly how this weapon was used. Like, it has one of those, like, diagrams that you kind of cut down the middle. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The same weapon was used in the same year against Vladimir Kostov for similar reasons. Both attacks are thought to have been organized by the Bulgarian Secret Service, but there is no hard evidence to support that. Overall, Castor Bean has many wonderful and terrifying properties, and I hope to always stay on the side of it that doesn't kill me. Murder. I don't want to die by umbrellas or any other way.
Wow. Wow, that was fascinating.
Thank you. I know. I had a good time. This was my dad is Plant Man.
He's the plant man.
He's the Plant Man. And we
trying to make it like I am Batman.
I
am Plant Man.
Oh my god. Dad. Haley and I both agreed that we probably should have had him on this episode.
Yeah, regrets.
He will be on regrets. He will be on a future episode for your ear pleasures.
Yep.
But yeah, my dad is Plant Man, knows so much about plants, has all the certifications.
Nature in general, but plants
things.
specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, my whole life growing up, it didn't matter if we went to, like, Disneyland, SeaWorld, the zoo. It was always like, where's Dad? He's taking pictures of plants. And I called him. We were just talking normally, and then I was like, oh, our next episode is plants. And so this idea came straight from Unicorn Dad. He was like, Castor Bean's pretty cool. I like Castor Bean. And I was like, ooh, I like the idea of having a murder. You know how I love a good murder.
Amanda loves a good murder. And I love a good umbrella. I'm just kidding.
And together, we have the perfect story.
Umbrella murder. Did you know, sorry, side note, thinking about like old-timey things that have compartments where poison was hidden, did you know, I think I still have it. I don't know why I would have gotten rid of it because it was sick. I have one of those rings that people used to wear that have the little compartment where they would secretly flip it open, dump the poison into like someone's drink, then close it, and it has like a beautiful little stone on it.
Haley.
Yeah.
Is it fake?
Yeah.
You have one?
Yes.
When are we?
I think I got it I think I got it from my Aunt Lorna.
Why did Lorna have it?
Lorna's my aunt that died. And she was all kinds of into like just very eclectic, like thrifting. And she just like was very big in the music scene and just was very spiritual and all that stuff. And she just had a bunch of like trinkets and like random stuff that she would just kind of had collected over the years. And I don't know if I got it after she died or it was a birthday present when I was like in high school or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like this tiny little ring. And yeah, it has like, I think it's a moonstone, ironically. We were just talking about that. And you flip it and basically like, for example, like this part would open and you just flip it and it's a tiny little hinge and you just dump it real quick. And then it just looks like a beautiful ring.
And you have it?
I have to hunt it down.
Oh my gosh, hunt it down.
I did have it, and I don't, like I said, it's beautiful. I don't know why I would have gotten rid of it. I think it was like people back then had like baby fingers.
Yeah.
So even when I was like much thinner in like high school, it still didn't fit me. So I was going to put it on a necklace, but I don't know why I would have gotten rid of it. So I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Just have to hunt it down.
That's another story that I didn't know that you have.
That's two. That's two. That's very exciting.
In 32 minutes.
Hey. And we've been friends for a really long time.
Like, longer than 32 minutes.
Yeah, like pretty much like going on 14 years. 14 years? Math?
Yeah.
Something like that.
10, and then minus 2, somewhere in that range would be. My brain hurts.
You need some castor oil for that?
Probably. I'll take the castor oil.
Add it to your list of reasons that you can use it.
So we always listen to Weirdfy where I work.
Mm-hmm.
We turn on them speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, my boss, we were listening yesterday when the episode went live, and she was just laughing, and she was like, I love your friend. She is hilarious. So I wanted to pass along that because it always feels good to
I appreciate
be told
it.
those things.
I really do appreciate it. It's nice to know that.
And it's true.
She thinks I'm hilarious. It makes me happy.
We were cracking up at the toe puns.
Oh my gosh, those truly were flowing out of me. Like something took over my body.
It was great.
It was something.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
wonderful. Haley, what plant do you have for us?
So as mentioned, my plant is highly, highly toxic. Yeah. It's actually very similar to yours.
Okay.
You know when you go in your email, side note, you go in your email and there's just so much spam, and I'm heavily married, but they keep sending me like singles stuff, and I'm like, but it was like silver singles, so it was for like older people that are like looking to find
Haley's
a partner.
Not married. She's heavily married.
Heavily married, like not interested in, no, especially for like a silver single. I think I have maybe 3 gray hairs, and that's where I tap out. And I'm like, I'm not even considered silver. Anyway, just as I was looking up my notes.
Silver singles. See, I get it now.
Silver singles.
I was wondering what the silver was. I get it. Gray singles doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah. No, you got to get that alliteration in there.
Yeah. And silver's prettier than, well, I guess that's subject to.
Silver is gray, but it sounds
shinier.
It's more pleasing to the ear.
That's right. You're aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetics is important.
Ear aesthetics.
Ear aesthetics. Okay. All right. So
Please stop this train and start a new one. Thank you.
toot toot. Here we go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, doggy.
The new train is dogs barking.
No, it's not.
All right. Ready, Freddie?
Ready. And I'm ready.
Okay. Technically, that's Freddie.
Oh, yeah, that's Freddie.
The tiny turtle's Freddie.
Yeet.
Amidst the multitude of plant life that has been around for centuries, there is one in particular that sounds both beautiful and ominous at the same time, and has for quite some time captured my own personal interest. So a little backstory. I first learned of this particular plant in one of my probably top 5 favorite movies ever, outside of Disney, like just top 5 favorites. It's Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. It's just chef's kiss. Truly, just amazing.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen the movie, highly recommend. It's about 2 sister witches.
Practical Magic?
Practical Magic.
I've watched it with you.
Did you watch? You did watch it with me.
Yep.
Okay, so
I feel like we should watch it again soon, very soon.
we should.
We're not really in spooky season, but is it always spooky season?
No, I wouldn't say it's a spooky season. I mean, it ends. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not just one to watch in spooky season. Okay. It's an all year long.
Great.
Christmas, throw on Practical Magic.
Great.
So in the wooded areas of Eurasia and parts of northern Africa, one may come across a bush with dull green leaves that spans anywhere from 4 to 7 feet high. Violet bell-shaped flowers will adorn the leaves and connections of the branches, accompanied by sweet, shiny black berries. This plant is the Atropa belladonna, or more commonly known as belladonna or deadly nightshade. It is a perennial plant that belongs to the nightshade family and is quite often mistaken for its less poisonous cousin black nightshade, which grows in clumps versus single berries like belladonna does. It is also part of the Solanaceae family of flowering plants, which includes tomatoes, eggplants, and potatoes. But you don't want to eat this one.
No, you don't.
No mashed belladonna for me,
no,
thanks.
thank you.
The plant was christened by the famous Swiss botanist and who is considered the father of taxonomy, Carolus or Carl Linnaeus. He's the one that gave it the name Atropa belladonna. He chose the genus name Atropa after Atropos, who was one of the 3 fates in Greek mythology. She and her sisters would control the life of every human. Clothos spun the thread of life, Lachesis measured it, and Atropos would sever the thread and decide how and when a human would die.
Oh my god. That's some power.
I know.
Damn.
The ultimate power, basically. I mean, I guess creating it is one thing, but then to like completely end it is another thing. But very appropriate to name it after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he chose the plant's species name, belladonna, which is Italian for beautiful women. Many think that this is in reference to the tonic that they would make from the berries of the plant. It is said that Venetian women would make the berries into a dust and brush it onto their skin. And obviously, due to the fact that it's poisonous, it would give like a blushing color. And then they would most often use the berry's juice as eye drops in order to dilate their pupils and therefore make themselves more seductive and alluring in appearance.
Ooh. Okay.
The women would unfortunately come to learn that the berries, as well as truly all parts of the plant, are extremely poisonous, which has resulted in them being referred to as sorcerer's berries, murderer's berries, and even the devil's berries.
Ooh.
So I came across multiple accounts throughout history and literature that reference belladonna and the main alkaloid found in the plant, which is atropine. So the Roman emperors Claudius and Augustus were apparently both poisoned by their wives using atropine found in belladonna.
Oh my gosh.
The Romans used it in battle to contaminate their enemies' food reserves. It's also said that the Romans would make it into a paste and spread it along the tips of their arrows for battle.
Savage.
And sort of similar in World War II to what you said. In World War II, the Germans developed a fatal odorless nerve gas, and apparently the only antidote turned out to be atropine.
Oh my gosh.
Small amounts were used as an anesthetic, like you said, for surgery, to help prevent miscarriages and to aid in labor and childbirth pains, as well as to help breast milk flow.
What the fuck?
I know. That's what you were saying. Something else. I was like, wow, this is sounding so familiar.
That's so random.
And it is a popular belief that belladonna is the poison that was used to put Juliet to sleep, and in turn caused both herself and Romeo to eventually take their own lives in Shakespeare's play.
Oh, the heartache.
I know. It's supposed to be a comedy. Did you know that? It's not supposed to be a tragedy. It was originally supposed to be a comedy.
LOL, Shakespeare.
Lol, Shakespeare.
We were living in dark times back then.
I know if that's a comedy.
Dark times, I tell
God,
you.
2020 got nothing on that.
Shit. Let's write a comedy. Oh my gosh.
So the reason for the plant's high toxicity is due, like I said, to the tropane alkaloids found in it, which are mainly atropine, as well as scopolamine and hyoscyamine.
Jeez.
I know, words.
Smarty pants.
These alkaloids target the central nervous system and cause pupil dilation, increased heart rate, vomiting, sensitivity to light, delirium, hallucinations, convulsions, and then eventually death.
Convulsion? Oof.
I know. It is said that the hallucinations experienced under belladonna are much different than those experienced under, say, mushrooms or peyote. The hallucination can last for multiple days.
Oh my God.
And can you imagine being on like a super trip?
Have you
for,
ever
like,
hallucinated
days?
before?
No, I haven't. And I think I'd be too scared to. I haven't been in a situation where I have allowed myself, I guess. I don't know. Have you?
I have, but it was on Percocet.
Oh, I haven't been on strong enough drugs. I've never really. The only thing I've been under anesthetics, like anesthesia once. Otherwise, I've never really been under heavy meds.
Yeah, I hallucinated when I was on Percocet. When I broke my nose, and they gave me Percocet and told me I was fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah, you might see a purple dragon. It's totally chill.
I saw a dragon.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, that was totally. I don't think I've heard this story.
Oh my gosh,
this is an episode of first.
I love it.
We're really learning so much about each other.
I went because for the listeners that don't know, I face planted on a bike, and I woke up the next day. My face was swollen. My face hurt. My nose hurt so bad. The first thing to hit the asphalt when I fell off my bike was my nose. And I wasn't sure if something was broken. It didn't really feel like it. But long story short, the next day I go to the ER, and they do an MRI, and they said it was just swelling. And I was in so much pain, though. Oh, my gosh, I was in so much pain.
I hear it hurts like a bitch when you break your nose.
Well, and, months later I found out I broke it in 3 places and sprained my jaw. So anyways, I was in so much pain, and I was just like, okay, that's fine if it's just swelling, but I need something to, like, help with this pain. So it was basically on an empty stomach, and I took 2 Percocet, and then we went across the street to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription. We were out of state. We were traveling, and I didn't have my medical card with me because I didn't know. I had never been in a situation where I needed it, and it's just one of those things where you have the situation, and then you know to always bring it with you, whatever. Mm-hmm. Darling, sweet Alex is trying to conduct my prescription getting with the pharmacist, and I don't have my medical card, and I am just literally drooling and hallucinating in this little pharmacy.
Oh no!
And he's like trying to get a hold of my mom. It was rough, and I'm just like, if you don't see that dragon in the corner, fool, I cannot help you. I'm taking a nap right here. I don't even remember how long it took, but eventually Alex got it all figured out. We got my prescriptions. We left. I hallucinated hard.
Wow.
Also, never will take Percocet again. That stuff is rough. It was rough on my stomach. I didn't like that I hallucinated. It was heavy shit.
Eep.
It wasn't a fun time. It wasn't. I've never done shrooms or anything like that, but I hear people have a nice time on that. It was not a nice time for me.
It doesn't sound like it was a nice time.
No, it wasn't. But now I have a new nose.
Yeah, she has a new it's very hard. It's a piece of rib. For those who don't know, fun fact about Amanda.
Yes, indeed. Fun fact about me. So,
wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know you had hallucinated, let alone hallucinated dragons. I just truly pulled, like, I was like, what's the one thing that I would say I'd want to hallucinate about? Like, we're going to say dragons.
Yeah, dragons.
That was really random.
It was a ride. Anyways, thanks for that intermish. Back to our regularly scheduled show.
So the hallucination, like I said, can last for multiple days, and the victim can experience delirium, memory disruption, confusion, along with discomfort and other unpleasantness. It's just all they said, other unpleasantness. Don't know what that means, but
fill in the blanks with your worst
probably not great.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Some say that they also experience a sensation of flying, and it's said that this is where the idea behind the witch's flying ointment came from. And legend says that witches in the Middle Ages would mix belladonna and other herbs together and anoint their bodies so that they could fly on their brooms.
Oh my goodness.
And some also say that these women would apply the salve vaginally in an attempt to help with gynecological issues as well.
Oh, right.
Now, despite all of these darker results of using belladonna, again, similar to yours, it can actually still be used in medicines today as long as the atropine is in small enough doses.
Wow.
Since atropine affects your nervous system, doctors do use it to treat multiple functions run by your nervous system as necessary. Ophthalmologists use atropine to dilute their patients' pupils before surgery and eye exams.
Wow.
It's an antidote to opium and chloroform poisoning. It can be made into a lotion or salve to help with gout, sciatica. Actually, when I was reading all of these ailments, I was like, maybe Amanda needs to get herself some belladonna, because I was like, gout, sciatica made me think of you. Heart palpitations. I know that was something with stress. You can take that out if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
It can also be used to help treat a variety of issues, including IBS, diverticulitis, Parkinson's, nighttime urination, and ulcers.
Wait, was it just the palpitations that made you think of me?
And the sciatica.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
I was like, I don't have gout.
No, I know. No, I meant the sciatica and then the heart palpitations.
Okay.
No, I know you don't have gout.
I don't know. I was just like,
but why did you think of me?
I've had ailments. I've had a few. Gout has yet to be one of them.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So yeah, it can also be used to help treat a variety of issues, including IBS, diverticulitis, Parkinson's, nighttime urination, and ulcers. And this is, of course, under doctor supervision and the appropriate dosage. Mm-hmm. So I thought I would end on some fun facts about belladonna.
Please do.
So the oral overdose of belladonna is only 600 milligrams. So I think the standard person takes...
Oh my gosh, that's like 3 Tylenol pills.
Yeah.
Not extra strength.
Not extra strength. Basic ass Tylenol. But yeah, only 600 milligrams.
Wow.
Orally is an overdose amount. I know, I thought that was crazy.
Whoa.
And only 1 to 130,000 parts water is sufficient enough to dilate your pupil. Yeah. So you think like...
Oh my God!
I think of like the resin pouring, and it's like you mix like 1 part resin with 1 part agent or whatever, and then you like mix thoroughly. And so I'm like, okay, so you take 1 part to 130,000 parts, and that's how little it takes.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That's a lot. Okay.
People have been this one was weird. People have been poisoned from eating honey that contains too much atropine.
Oh my gosh. How's it getting the honey?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
Maybe from the plant life surrounding it. Because honestly, you can brush up against the leaves and get a rash. Like, it's that toxic. I don't know.
So the bees are picking it up?
Maybe.
Okay.
They didn't go into that. That was just a fun fact.
Okay.
We could find out more, I'm sure.
The more you know.
The more you know. This fact made me sad. I didn't look up the legitimacy of this, to be honest, and I don't know why. I haven't read The Hobbits, or The Hobbit. I was in my brain, I was thinking The Lord of the Rings, and that has multiple books, and then I was like, but The Hobbit is just The Hobbit.
Right. Well, and the movies have
have multiple movies.
Course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently Bilbo's mom in The Hobbit, her name is Belladonna Took Baggins.
Uh-huh.
I just thought it was really cute.
Fool of a took. Fool of a took. Run, you fools.
Actually,
fly, you fools.
That's it. That's what it's supposed to be. But instead it goes,
run, you fools.
So today, Belladonna is no longer used for cosmetic reasons and does save more lives than it takes.
Oh, no. Don't hit the play.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
She loves you.
I'm
She's
sorry.
shy.
I just got very emphasis. I was using it for emphasis.
It's okay. We don't sneak preview.
So today, Belladonna is no longer used for cosmetic reasons and does save more lives than take more lives. But she's still mystical, magical, and just plain fascinating.
Oh, she is.
So what did we learn from this episode? That you really can learn a lot of things from the flowers. I think I'm my favorite loop around yet.
Okay, one thing I notice in our topics is that we always seem to pick topics that complement each other. Maybe not always, but like when we do our topics, it seems like they often just have similarities. Mm-hmm. What are the chances we both pick? There are so many freaking plants out there.
Yeah, and the last episode we both did, like, our main one was using the body.
Mm-hmm. And then I talked very briefly about the deer semen beer. But it's just that we always have something that, like, complements the other person.
Kind of the same vein of
and we never know
things.
What we're doing.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast, but Amanda and I just pick an umbrella topic of what we want to do that week. And then we each do our own separate research and then come together. So all the reactions you're hearing are the true, like, authentic reactions to what the other person.
We don't know what the other person is doing.
Yeah.
Even though multiple weeks Haley's been like, what if we, tell me? And I'm like,
I know.
No!
And then she just gets mad at me and it's like, if you put it out in the universe, it's going to happen. So this week I didn't. And I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Ever. It's going to be fine.
So.
Yeah. Anyways, I was going to say, what are the chances that we both pick a plant that's poisonous?
Very, very similar.
And also, you can use
what
it
does
medically.
Yours look like?
Just Google castor bean. I would say maybe.
It's castor, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. Castor bean.
Castor bean.
Oh, it kind of looks like a weed leaf.
I know, it does. I actually thought that, and then I looked up weed leaf, and they're different enough. The marijuana leaves are much more, like, slender and pointy.
Yeah, it's very similar,
but
though.
It's definitely marijuana-esque for show.
The flowers are, like, spiky. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Wow, the flowers are really pretty. It almost looks like bud, so it looks like I personally would not be attracted to that. It looks like it's like don't come near me. Between the bright red and like the deep kind of like moody purpley gray flower leaves. Wow, that's cool. I'll show you Belladonna. Belladonna looks like a kind of like a blueberry bush, but it's not as like full and bush-like.
I think we have belladonna grow in our front yard.
Really? It did say that it does grow in like parts of the United States and like a couple other places. It's just kind of made its way there.
Because one of the springs here, it's not a lot of springs that we get spring stuff in San Diego. Mm-hmm. But one time my dad was over and he was like, oh, look, it's nightshade.
Oh, I wonder if it's like...
And I was like,
I wonder if it's deadly nightshade or if it's like, like I said, like the black nightshade.
Well, he was like, don't eat it.
Well, you're not supposed to eat black nightshade either. Oh, it's just less poisonous, is what I read.
Either one, I'm not going to eat.
I'm trying to find a good picture of it. This is Belladonna.
Yeah, pretty sure that's it.
Really?
Uh-huh. And just like kind of along our side like fence here, and definitely in our front yard, we had like multiple plants, and they had little blueberries on them, like dark purple berries. Anywho.
Oh, another pop culture reference that I did not mention. Deadly nightshade is what Sally puts into Dr. Finkelstein's tea in Nightmare Before Christmas so that she can sneak out and have a life of her own because he's so controlling.
Interesting.
Yeah, where he's like,
the deadly nightshade you poured into my tea wore off, Sally.
Yikes! Interesting. I've only seen that movie one time.
It's a creepy one, but I love it. Mm-hmm. It's based on a poem that my sister did of course she did. My sister did a whole report on Tim Burton.
Oh, wow.
And
not surprising.
Yeah, it's based on a poem that he did. And
oh my gosh.
He would like pull his teeth out and apparently like right in the blood. Strange dude.
Oh my God.
Visionary. His movies are very dark and very weird and very creepy, but in like a very appealing way. I don't know. But Nightmare. Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh my God, that is now my newest nightmare, pulling out your teeth and writing in the blood. But you know what? To each their own.
We watched a scary movie. It was very weird. I forgot what it was called. Oh, Anything for Jeffrey? I don't know. Anything for something. And basically the premise is, it was on, I think, Amazon Video. The premise is that it's this doctor and his wife, and their grandson died. And so the doctor kidnaps one of his patients who's a pregnant single mother, and they're Satanists, and they're pretty much praising Satan and offering anything that they need to Satan to have the soul of their grandson come into the fetus that this woman is carrying. It's very weird, but basically the house is haunted, or no, they opened up a portal to hell, and so at that point all of these spirits in purgatory are now trying to get to this unborn life to try to like have a second life. Anyway, so one of the people, or one of the spirits, is this creepy ass looking old lady, and all she's doing is just like staring at you and like,
Ew, no.
like flossing her teeth.
Ew.
And then her teeth are like, yeah.
Fuck that.
It's disgusting.
No.
Anyway, that's what I thought of. I just imagined her and she's like,
No. We're going to change the subject here or there.
well, if anybody else has any
Yes, let's wrap it up on that note.
has any plants,
Have nightmares. Love you guys.
if anyone knows of any more fascinating plants, or you are a plant mom,
Or you almost died of uricin.
yeah,
Or
any kind of poisoning, yeah, please write us and tell us your stories. Tell us your weird non-plant stories. Tell us anything spooky. I want to be spooked.
yes, same.
Send me all the spooks.
Send us all your weird stuff.
Yeah,
You know, we're on episode
you know
19
the drill.
of Weirdfy.
Episode 19
Of Weirdfy.
Weirdfy.
So at this point, we've given you a multitude of topics to email us about. And we would love to hear from you and read them back to you on another What's the Weird?
And there are so many we haven't covered still. So even if we haven't covered it, we still want to hear it.
We have many more in the pipeline. And if you have any topic suggestions, because I will say, I'm proud of us for coming up with as many
And
topics.
we have a laundry list of ones still left to do. I'm so surprised with us. We're killing it.
Come up with many. But we always love a good topic suggestion.
Oh, yeah. Fresh eyes, fresh ears.
Have a topic suggestion. You can suggest it you could really suggest it on any of our social media pages. But we specifically have a topic suggestion section under our Make Contact page on our website, weirdifypodcast.com. And you can also email us there. You can also email us at weirdifypodcast@gmail. That's the one.
Yep. Directly to the source.
Right to the source.
And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Weirdify Podcast.
And YouTube.
And you can find us on YouTube and listen to our episodes there.
And hopefully more places to come soon.
And hopefully more places to come soon. I know we say that we have stuff in the pipeline, but we're hoping to grow this little podcast baby and reach more people and just continue to grow our little weird corner of the internet.
Also, I just want to say, personally, when I log in and see where our downloads are coming from, I don't know you people. And so I just am floored by the fact that strangers tune in like to every episode to listen to us, and that it's really not anybody that we know.
Yeah. And Amanda just texted me that we passed 1,000 downloads.
Yeah.
That's huge. All these little milestones, and we're just so happy with our little podcast baby, and it gives me another excuse to see Amanda every week.
Yes, indeed.
It's just a plus.
We are surprisingly reaching many states and many countries, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, we'd like to grow. Hopefully, we're a source of joy.
Yes, and if we're not,
there are plenty of other great podcasts. If this one doesn't suit your fancy, but we hope that it does.
Well, I'm assuming people are tuning back in because we are. I don't tune back into anything if it doesn't bring me joy.
That's true.
But thank you, everybody, so much.
Thank you
for supporting us with your ear holes.
Yeah.
We are so grateful.
We'll continue to bring all the stuff for your ear holes, and hopefully we'll have some special guests soon. Maybe, hopefully, including Unicorn Dad. Sooner rather than later.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yes. And until next time, guys, keep
It
weird.